What's up, folks? It's a pretty hot day. I got a 2011 Nissan Altima. It is a four-door sedan. It's got some AC issues. What happened, they wound up getting the AC compressor replaced down at the bottom. Last place wound up straight wiring because they thought it was some issues with the connector or something, and the compressor still never worked. They were never able to get it to operate. There's no Freon in it. You push the button, nothing happens. However, doing some preliminary checks, I can command the compressor to come on, so which is a good sign. So from this IPVM on over, we can make the compressor work. Need to fill it up with pressure to see if we can get the compressor to activate. And if so, I mean, it just needed Freon. But it just doesn't make any sense that they could have just simply added Freon and been fixed. So I don't want to put Freon in, waste any money. So I'm gonna use air pressure. I just constructed some basic advice to put air pressure in there. It's not a big deal. I mean, I can simply just vacuum it out. It's just free, air's free. So I just got an old hose that goes to the low side port, and I took a female side and put a brass male fitting in it, and now I can hook up to the air hose and pressurize it. It's old and I've used it a lot. It don't read any pressure or anything, but it does fill it up. What I could do also, go into one of the live pieces of data, see if the pressure sensor has changed. But being that I know it's filled with pressure, I'm gonna assume that the system works. So let's cut the AC on and see if we have some sort of activation. Okay. Oh, compressor was already on. Alright, so that's on. But our compressor down there isn't working. Let's pull up some data. So I need to find out where the AC request is, and I should be in the body control module. Get some sort of air flowing in here. Air conditioning, live data. Okay, air conditioning switch is off, but it's on here. It's on, off, pushing it, it's not doing nothing on. Fan on signal, that's just the blower motor. I turned it off, that's working. We just don't have an AC switch here. The request, let's see if we can find that. Should be an engine. Signals. So there's our AC pressure sense. Voltage is high there. I need to check that, look into that. Yeah, I need to see why that pressure is high. Let me see if there's Freon or air pressure in there. I guess we can pretty much go from there. From the mechanical gauge, yeah, it's got about 130 psi pressure in there. Take some of this air out. So it does fluctuate, which is a good sign. But then it went right back up. What in the world? That's interesting. Might just have pressure sensor issues. They do have a climate control head in here. I need to figure out where the pressure sensor is. Now this was in a collision. Let me pop some more air pressure in there. Look, the values changed. It dropped, and then it went back up. Something's going on here with this pressure sensor. I need to figure out where that's located because we had body damage in the front here. If our pressure sensor is in the condenser somewhere. Oh, there you go. Right in front of our face. We could have some problems with that. Hell, is it even plugged in well? Let's see if I can get this bumper off. I want to look at my values here. See if y'all can see it. Maybe you can, oh gosh. Maybe you can see it. Disconnecting it goes to 0. So if there's no pressure, well, the voltage should go, it should drop, but there's feedback. And it's just going from one extreme to another. Let's do this. Let me see if I can graph it. Slow the graph down. Yeah, hitting it did something. It dropped it down. Let's see if everything works like it's supposed to now. So we should be able to have a request now, but the signal from the switch probably still isn't working. So we may have a combination of two different issues. Go to air conditioning, live data. So if we got our switch to work, we should be able to see a request, but our switch still isn't coming on. That's still in the off state. Let's see if we have a request now. Yeah, the request is off. Let's see where the switch is. All right, that'll explain it. The switch is off. Let's see if we can get a request now by cutting the switch on. Let's listen for a compressor operation. Yeah, the request is still off. So we have to go and find the switch again and see if the switch is working. I'm still trying to locate the data for the air conditioning because I had to go to 3 different places: the body control module, the IPDM, and the engine control modules to get some information. So our switch is not working. So the customer did have their own climate control head based off of just deductive reason here. I can control the compressor and it comes on with the scan tool. I've done that off camera. Let me go here to engine. I can prove that to you. You can go out, activate it, and see that it functions. I'm not gonna keep it on long because it's not Freon in there, and it has oil in it. It should with the new compressors. So we're going to the engine control module, which should control the compressor, activate it, and then we'll just pop out that switch. It was in here, right? No, I guess it's not in here. I guess the IPDM controls it because that's what a relay is. So I gave you that wrong information. Active test. There we go, right there. Escape because we don't need that. Come on. All right, let's hit it and it should come on. Oh gosh. Yeah, it popped on. The reason why it stalled lightly is because the vehicle hasn't been able to make its accommodations. So it needs to idle up and prepare for a load, and in this case it couldn't. That's just the a conjecture at this point. All right, like I said, they have their own climate control head. Let's pop that in there, see if that works. So yeah, I got the new switch in there and it's still not working. That's weird. The fan works, but the switch isn't saying anything. I'm not sure where they got the switch from, but it's a possibility that they probably got a bad switch. Cause I mean, the module should have recognized the switch request to work. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. It recognizes fan signal, but when you press the switch, nothing. I think the switch is just bad, and we need to get another new switch. I'm gonna call and let them know, because we gotta have some sort of feedback from the switch here, and it works off of CAN network, so there's no way this is gonna be a separate command to work this when it has to go through a CAN network to activate. So I'm gonna put the old one back in there. Same thing, nothing from the switch. Let me see if I can get to a junkyard. All right, I made a slight mistake. I should have slowed down, this to myself. So I went and got another unit and it didn't work. And I was like, Brad, you didn't even look at the wiring diagram properly. And it had on pin 5, I want to say, the compressor had an activation wire. It was this light blue one right there. So when I hit the compressor to activate it, it sends a ground signal and it works. I'm like, all right, well, obviously there's no recognition in the computer. Well, I got to pull out the body control module. It's behind the instrument cluster, and I pull this out and I see somebody was already back here. There's some sort of aftermarket wiring harness here. I'm gonna ignore these broken wires, and you know what's happening. So I need to link up to that control wire and see if it's coming from the switch to the body control module, because I need the unit to recognize a command from the switch first before I do anything else, because everything else works, and I don't know what in the world went on with this car, the history, and I should have slowed down. Let me see if I can get this out some way. So it seems like we might be dealing with a short somewhere. So I'm moving this. Look at the wire. I'm moving it up and down. Ain't this great? Let me see if I can move it around and get an AC request in the computer. Let's see if the air conditioning switch comes on at some point in time. I gotta find M18 pin 33. This is the only light. Oh boy. Okay. So whatever this aftermarket stuff is this our, oh, there's our blue wire right there. There we go. So whatever they try to tie in, that's that. I can do a continuity test with the test meter. I can take it out, hold on here. I can take it out of here. Leave it in the blue. Let's see here, I got my pin. Check my connection here. All right, just to do a continuity test. Here we go. There we go. That's our reason right there. I'm gonna take it off the blue wire and it goes open. So that's our issue. Let me see if I can just do a test and jump that wire to where it's supposed to go, because I have no idea, because whatever they tied into with this aftermarket component caused some problems. I gotta figure out where this go. They created, okay, I gotta pull this. Let me make some things happen. All right, I just got the wires thrown in there together. So here's our data. It's off. Let's hit the AC request button and see if it works. There you go. And the compressor came on. So that was our issue. Awesome. So I don't have any Freon in it, and I need to get that fixed. So I'm gonna get this buttoned up, being that we found the problem. I'm not giving y'all credit. I found the problem. Y'all are subconscious that don't respond to anything. Is what it is. I don't know where this white wire go. I'm gonna get that buttoned up too. Whatever this crap is coming out, because I don't think it serves a purpose. It don't prevent it to start. Maybe it's an auto stop start. I don't know why it's at the body control module. I'm not an aftermarket guy, but I'm gonna bridge this together, button it up, and get this AC working. We'll be back. Here's the final product. I had to use some wire extension and the heat shrink. I'm gonna switch brands from the Dorman because I don't like the way like some of these knuckles would start to have a little frays and stick through. I mean, it's all right for a little light stuff, but I'm definitely gonna switch brands. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sleeve these together and install the wiring harness, and we'll be good to go. The lights on the door here, I mean, work fine like they're supposed to, so there's no more issue with shorting. The AC, I do have it partially filled. I'm just gonna finish filling that all the way up after I get this sleeved up and put back in its final resting place. This is the body control module. I did have to take out the instrument cluster to get to it. It just sits right here in the back, and we saw there was evidence of tampering because one bolt was missing here. I'm just going to let it sit back there. I mean, it sits in a nice snug confined spot, so it doesn't move. I'm not going to worry about trying to get that security bolt out. I don't know how to get that out. I'm not going to fight with it. I'm just going to let it just sit back there, leave it alone, and just wedge it somewhere. Let me get this back, get this AC working so I can cool off a little bit and tuck this crap somewhere so I don't have to worry about it or cause some future problems. And then we'll look at some data. Okay, here we go. So I got the cosmetic stuff put back on, and I got some under the hood components replaced, just the hose. I'll show you that. AC's working. We have our switch back working. I'm gonna hit the switch off. See, it goes off. Oh, sorry. See, it goes off. And then we're gonna hit the AC back on. There we go. Get that recirculation. Let's go to our AC request. I gotta find it because I cannot remember every single place. Let's see, one of the other ones in the IPDM. Let's go inside of here. Live data. All signals. Let's go to, I think it was compressor, AC compressor request on. Let's hit it off. Let's do the same thing. Let's do data change. Hit on max AC. Alright, one more thing. Let's look at the pressure in the body control module. So we went to the body control module, IPDM, and then we're going to go to the engine control module and look at the pressures. I work on such an array of vehicles, I can't remember every single thing. You don't understand how many times I had to go through this. So this is the last place here. But I tell you what, customers don't get no happier than with repairs. I don't care what amount of money they pay. Generally, I will say hypothetical. Generally, it's the AC. ACs make people so happy. That makes me happy. So when they get their AC fixed and they have that, I call it an AC smile. They'll just smile because they're just such a sigh of relief. I think it was pressure, because our pressure switch was acting stupid. There we go, that's working. I don't think there's a compressor in here. Nope. No AC pressure. Okay, that was the only one in that. So we're good there. We have pressure values, AC request, AC switch signal. We know how to check the AC switch, because I messed that up. That was just done on my behalf, and just like something inside of me, Brad, stop, just stop. My dad used to say, stop, Brad, stop, Brad. I mean, I just should have stopped. That's what I should have done. I'm gonna clear all these codes out, and we're good. There we go. I cleaned up a little bit. I got a new hose on here for that collapsed one. This ain't got no condensation yet, but it's cool. Yeah, it's 100 and once I start driving, get it circulating a lot better. 110 degrees in here. So once I start moving, it'll be a little better. Cool. Hey, look, we're good to go. This lesson learned again. I'm habitual about it. I need to slow down, think things thoroughly through, and answer all questions. When I have doubts, I need to question that too. Get that answer before I execute. I'm human. I always say I'm 80% right the first time, 100% right the second. It is what it is. If anything happens, it's got to come back. I'll definitely update. We'll hit that link, subscribe channel, stay informed, how to reach some work. See you next one.